The thought of living completely off the grid can be quite overwhelming, and it's hard for most people when you're used to the convenience of the city. But when you come across YouTube channels like Off the Grid with Jake and Nicole, you think that maybe, just maybe, you could try out the whole idea of homesteading completely off the grid for yourself. After all, it can't be that hard. Well, it is ultimately a nice and simpler lifestyle once you've settled down and made peace, and don't have to worry about the basics, including food and heating or kids' education. But it can be a rather challenging lifestyle. And before you're sold on the idea of homesteading and off-the-grid living by Jake and Nicole, there are several truths that this family has been hiding from you. Before you write us off, just think about it for a minute. How did Jake and Nicole manage to live glamorously off the grid? And how is their home always in perfect shape? Here are some of the truths that we've uncovered about this power couple, the masters of the off-the-grid living who build their home from the ground up in Canada's countryside, somewhere in Vancouver. Keep in mind that Jake and Nicole are the couple that created the YouTube channel in October 2017, and they've since garnered 1.51 million subscribers and a total viewership of at least 375 million people. One of their videos from 5 months ago currently has more than 17.9 million views. Another from 7 months ago has 20 million views. And there's also one from a year ago that has 25 million views. While it's not entirely impossible to hit these numbers, other channels on homesteading will have far fewer in comparison to what Jake and Nicole get in a single video. And if you've been watching the numbers from the most popular channels, you won't be wrong to assume that this couple is doing something else that seemingly brings in more views than usual. Well, it's recently come to light that the couple is not just earning from YouTube revenue, but that Nicole has an OnlyFans account that brings in more money. The adult content is considered a reason for their thumbnails changing from normal homesteading family content to Nicole posing in outfits that are a tad more revealing and not so homestead-like. In addition to the issue of the dress code and more skin exposure, there's also the matter of the quality of their productions. Unlike other homesteading channels, including the ones whose creators have invested in top-quality equipment, the content shared by Jake and Nicole is top tier. It's the same quality as the content in scripted TV shows. There are no messes in their videos, and it would be expected from a channel about a family living off the grid. This raises eyebrows. Is it possible that they produce the content elsewhere, say on trips, then upload them over a number of weeks? The length of their videos is also cause for concern. They may have it all together and all the time in the world, but for people leading a self-reliant life off the grid, there's hardly any time to create such long videos when you have so much work waiting for you, unless you have a production team. Away from all the controversy, there are some pretty cool things that you may like to know about your favorite homesteading and off-the-grid channel. These are some reasons why this channel is on the list of the best homesteading, off-the-grid living YouTube channels. Are they really as self-reliant as they seem? Well, yes, they are. Since they embarked on the mission to live off the grid completely, Jake and Nicole have worked hard to create a life away from the city by building their own home and having a farm where they get their own food. They have some farm animals too, and their two creative souls have devised a solution for pretty much everything, including the use of tree barks to dye clothes. This process is equally fascinating and educational. They covered this whole process in episode 38, in which they bathed a number of white fabrics with bark dye, creating uniquely colored and beautiful fabrics. Jake and Nicole are also quite knowledgeable of their surroundings, meaning that their viewers will surely learn something new from their video uploads. This couple grows their own food and is also great at scavenging for food from the wilderness and the ocean, where they gather things like oyster mushrooms, herbs, fruits, and fish, among others. They had planned a natural home birth, but Nicole had some complications, so they had a change of plans. To ensure that she was in perfect health throughout her pregnancy, especially in the last trimester, Nicole drank teas from homegrown nettle, oat straw, raspberry, red clover, alfalfa, and dandelion roots and leaves. This is thanks to her extensive knowledge of natural herbs and their role in health and nutrition. All these were handpicked fresh from their farm, with no preservatives. So you may learn a thing or two from the channel on matters of healthy living. They're also big on mindfulness and meditation. And also, they're excellent in martial arts, specifically Tai Chi, having taken self-defense classes. They prefer their new life of solitude away from the noise of the big cities. So for tips on organic farming, off-the-grid living, and mindfulness, you'd learn a lot from watching Jake and Nicole's YouTube channel. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.